All right, we are going to build the nav header for the course, but I want to focus on a couple of things that are a little bit new in this lesson. One is we're going to create the nav as a reusable component. So you can create your own components that then you can just reuse across different pages in your app or your website, so you don't have to rebuild it every time you want to use it. So this is a really good use case for that. And I'm in my website project where I have done this for both a header and a footer. So you can see I have these built out as separate pages, and then I can then use them on different pages. So I have them on my projects page, I have them on my home page, my contact page. So we'll do that in the course app. So let's hop over there now. And to save some time, I already built it out because I want to focus on using it as a component and then putting some actions on these icons to open up our own pages. So I will, though, quickly go through what I did here. I pulled it in as a new page, named it Course Navigation Header, put on my body styles, and then I noticed I created an overall container to contain these two containers. And once again, I did my grid of 1FR, 2FR, and realized now it's the third time I've done this. So I actually created my own utility class instead of doing it inline. And all this is a class of display grid and then grid template columns 1FR, 2FR. And then I went back and I took out using the inline styling on the admin page and what was the other page? Oh, yeah, the course app page itself. Took out the inline styling and applied that utility class. So it's exactly the same, but now it's a little more modular to use it if you add more pages to this app. Then let's see. Then those two containers are pretty straightforward. The nav icons container, I'm using flex row and then center center. Actually, I don't think I need this. Yep, flex and center center. So what that's doing is pushing the icons to the right here and vertically centering them. And then on each icon, I've created another utility class called course nav icon, and it just has some margin right on it. That way, if you want to add some more icons to this, if you're cloning it, you can apply that. You just pull in new images and then apply that class to it rather than going inline each time. And the nav heading, very simple, just has one of our headings in there with an H1, and then I went flex column center center, so it's vertically and horizontally aligned. Then to do the borders, so it matches up to the course app below, is I just did a full border all the way around the outside container and then a left border on the heading container, so it looks complete. Now I just need to go down to my course app page, and then at the top of this I want to pull in an element we haven't used yet, which is called a component. Put it right at the top. Then it's very quick from here. I'll just give it a name. We'll call it course navigation header, I think is what we called it. And then you just tell it what page to use. So it's going to be course navigation header, and there it is. So let's go see it in live view. Perfect. And one little note, what I did is I put padding of 1 pixel at the top of this container and this container, just because this list row was covering up this bottom border. So little nuance there, just in case you're trying to figure that out if you're using it or rebuilding this from scratch. So now let's make these little images into hyperlinks. So what I did is we already had our home page. Where did I put it? Over here. I just added placeholder text to it. I created another new page called resources, gave it some placeholder text, and gave it a URL route of resources. So now this is very easy to give them links. We're going to use actions. So we'll create an action, call it open homepage. Add the action. Let's look for it. Open I want, yes, I want open page into browser tab window. So what this is doing is it's opening one of your own pages from within Bildr into your browser. We'll do later open URL, which is if you want to open an external URL. So we'll do this one. We'll open it into the current tab, and that's our home page. And now for the resources page, create another action. Open resources page. Open browser, page into browser, current tab, resources. Okay, let's test it. And actually that won't work yet because we have to connect the actions to the images themselves. So on click, this one opens the home page, and on click, this one opens the resources page. Now let's test it. Great. Home, resources. One thing I actually want to do to make this look better for the user is change on hover that to be the little hand icon, so it's obvious that this is a hyperlink, and we're actually going to add that to. Now this makes it easy. We only have to do it once because we can go into this course nav icon style class, make our cursor, I believe it's pointer. Let's try it. Yep, done. Okay. Next lesson, what we're going to do is add in a scroll bar to the app, because once we start adding in a whole bunch of lessons here, this is going to push down below the page and it's not going to look good. So we're going to add a scroll into this div so you can scroll here without moving the rest of the page. All right, see you on that one. Bye.